Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. I am your host, Winston Deal, ready for race number 2 of the Leave the Pack Street Stock Showdown. We are at the new Smyrna Speedway here tonight, ready for 50 laps of action. In the main event, we've got a 15-lap B feature before that, where we will be sending some drivers home. Trying to get timing and scoring pulled up on the left side for practice right now. But we will be sending some drivers home. We have 30 cars on the property. Only 24 spots available in the starting lineup. Yes, there we go. Time's up on the left side of your screen. Right now, Trey Ashworth would be getting that final spot. Dalton Ledbetter in the 32 machine, currently sitting at the top of the board. He had a rough going last week at Kern County, ended up in the 19th spot, 13 laps down, but had a lot of speed there early on. We'll see where he's able to end up here tonight. Qualifying is going to be a huge deal. Track position going to be important, as well as making it in the show. A tight field. We'll look at the times up on the left. Yeah, very tight field here this evening. Only half a second all the way to the last car, so definitely going to be a tough task to get into qualifying, but still going to be a fun one nonetheless. As we look at the keys for tonight's race, and you see right there, highlighted in red, 121 degrees on the track. 82 degrees air temp, but with that sun beating down on the racetrack, it's making it 121 degrees. It's going to be tough here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway. A half-mile, semi-banked. It's a little bit more banking when you get up towards the top of the racetrack. One thing you are going to see all night long is going to be that outside lane, especially down in turns 1 and 2 right here. You see both Brian Gravel, James Poliski kind of off that yellow line just a bit. You're able to really carry your momentum down the back straightaway on that top side. 3 and 4 a little bit different. You do want to keep that car kind of pinned towards the bottom, as these drivers are finishing up their final practicing runs. We'll see if we can't grab a word from any of these guys in Discord. I know a lot of these guys hang out in the chats below, so we'll see if we can't grab a word from someone last week. We'll see if we can't grab a word from 7th place finisher Adam Fulford. Adam Fulford up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Alrighty, well, currently sitting in the 18th spot, so you're in the show on time as of this moment. Last week finished in the 7th place spot at the Kern County Raceway Park. How do you feel about your chances here tonight at New Smyrna?
We're struggling here tonight, man. Things are definitely a lot more, track's a lot greasier, so we just gotta make sure we nail qualifying, and hopefully everything else will work the way we want it to. If we don't get the top 20, then I feel like I've got good long run speed here, so we'll just have to race our way in and save a little bit more at the start of the race and just play it a little bit smarter and still be there at the end.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun run. Track position, like you said, going to be important, and making the show is going to be important. 10 drivers going to be in that B main. You're not going to want to be one of those 10, but you're in the show right now. Adam, I'll let you get back to practice, and you got about 3 minutes left to practice, but we wish you luck, and thanks for talking to us up in the booth.
Appreciate it, Winston. Thank you for putting the league on tonight, bud.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, that was Adam Fulford. 1 win in Leave the Pack iRacing history. It was back in the modified division in the season finale at Lanier. He came so close a couple times throughout the season in the modifieds, but finally got that first win at Lanier. We have a couple street stock showdown winners in the field. Austin Godfrey, one of those, in the number 1 machine. Picked up his first win back at Nashville in Season 2. Back in January 22nd of this year. But making his second start of the season. Came home in the 6th spot last week. Mark Keedeman making his first start of the year. Missed Kern County in the season opener. We'll see where Keedeman ends up in qualifying. Another driver who wants a word up in the broadcast booth. We'll see if we can't grab him. Carter Hollingsworth up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, last week ended up in the 3rd place spot. You had a good run. We were up inside the top 5. Most of the race battled with RJ and Riley there. Ended up 3rd when it was all said and done. What can you do to put the 28 back on the podium here at New Smyrna?
Yeah, I feel like you just gotta, have good track position. The track's a little hot. Obviously, it's gonna cool down before the race, so you just gotta have that track position. It's gonna be hard to pass at the bottom, so you're gonna have to, kind of. Hopefully, you're gonna be on the top there and just start passing people on the top. But I feel like once we get spread out here, the racing goes on. I feel like it'll be a good race tonight. Hopefully, we can get a top 3 and another good points tonight.
Yeah, like you said, if we get spread out, I think the racing's going to be pretty good. New Smyrna, a track that puts on some pretty good street stock racing. As you and I both know, we've ran quite a few races here in officials. Pretty good track for street stocks. Hopefully, we can have a good run tonight. What lap time do you think is going to be the top in qualifying? What's it going to take?
Depending on track temp, I think if it's between 100 and 110, I feel like it's going to be like a high 9, low 89 there. So I don't know. It'll just depend on what the track temp to be, and hopefully I can be up on the pole, get the points there. Trying to kind of pick them off one by one. Invert's 10, so it's going to be tough from 10th. But we'll hopefully have a good race car and end up in the top 5 or even back in the broadcast booth later tonight.
Yeah, we wish you luck, Carter, and we thank you for talking to us up in the booth. And like you said, hopefully we can talk to you later on.
Yep, see ya.
Alrighty, that was Carter Hollingsworth, your 3rd place finisher last week. Came home in the 3rd place spot, had RJ Williams and Connor Knowlton, your winner, up in front of him. Really quickly, going to get the schedule up there on screen for you guys, so we can all view. So hopefully this looks about right there. Boom! How about it? Fit right in. We'll back out of that real quick. All right. There's the schedule for you guys up on screen at New Smyrna this week for 50 laps. Then we have Southern National next week in South Boston. So starting the season out with a couple half miles, and then next week we go to the smaller 3/8 mile track, South Boston 100 lapper. That's going to be a fun one, but we'll keep track with our winners throughout this season. And it's qualifying time here at the New Smyrna Speedway. We'll see who the first drivers are out on the racetrack. So we make our way trackside here. It looks like the first driver out on the racetrack goes to the top of the board with a 20.02. Number 2 machine of Mark Keedeman, the Urbandale, Iowa driver. Second lap time for Keedeman, a little bit slower. Connor Knowlton with a 19.95 in the 2CT. Second lap time for Knowlton slows it down a little bit. It looks like the first lap is going to be the money lap. RJ Williams now, the Cottle Chassis, number 21. RJ calls Hickory, North Carolina home. Second lap time. Slows down just a little bit. How about Brian Gravel in his season debut? Quick time with a 1994 in the 22 machine. Several drivers still left to go. Jeffrey Miller in the 79 machine. He's got to pick up the pace a little bit if he wants to punch his ticket into the show. Still got a lot of drivers left to qualify. Right now at 20.43. Comes across the line, second lap time. Not going to pick it up any. How about Justin Coleman in the 14 machine here tonight? Repping the different body style. Down the back straightaway, Coleman on lap number 1. We'll see what he can do. Lap 1 for Coleman. Put him 8th quick with a 20.06. The driver from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Coastal Performance and Coleman Design on that race car. A 5-time leave the pack winner. We'll see what Coleman can do if he picks it up on that second lap. Lap number 2 for Coleman. Looks like he'll slow down. So definitely lap 1. And now 2 drivers that a lot of drivers have their eye on. Brandon Elvis in the 4 machine, the 2-time champion. In the 2 seasons that we've had with the Street Stock Showdown, race number 2, Brandon Elvis has won both of them. So we'll see if that trend continues here tonight. Down into turns 3 and 4. First lap time for the 4 machine. First lap for Elvis, 13th quick. For the number 4, a 20.07. 20.07. His ECR teammate, the 80 machine of Chris Smith. Smith, the driver from Easley, South Carolina, working his first lap. You'll see the white flag right here. His flying lap, we'll see where he goes. 10th quick for the 80 machine. Tenth quick for the number 80, and the final driver to qualify, the guy that went to victory lane in the preseason race. This is the Brooks Speed Shop, Justin Brooks Designs. Number 33 of Justin Brooks. 4th quick with a 1997. And that is going to conclude qualifying. A 19.94 is going to do it for Brian Gravel. He will take the top spot in his season debut. He missed last week at Kern, actually took a nap, and didn't wake back up. So everybody in chat below, make sure we go ahead and flame Brian for that. Don't let Brian live down sleeping through last week at Kern. It's time for the last chance race. We'll get that momentarily. Going to look at our qualifying results. Get those up on screen. Gravel on the top spot in the number 22 with a 19.948 track record. Was a little bit quicker than that. I believe it was a 9.65 if I do, or actually it was a 6.95. So it was a little bit quicker. But Brian Gravel, quick time. Connor Knowlton 2nd, Dylan Connor 3rd, Justin Brooks 4th, RJ Williams 5th, Mark Keedeman 6th, Austin Godfrey 7th, Carter Hollingsworth 8th, Ryan Pittman 9th, and Dalton Ledbetter rounds out your top 10, and that will be your invert here tonight, will be a 10. So it's now time for our B feature. We've got 11 cars going for 15 laps. There will be 4 starting spots up for grabs in the main. 4 starting spots up for grabs, but it's B feature time. We'll have 15 laps to go when we get back next time by. They'll get the green flag. It'll be the 00 of Matt Borndren rolling off from the pole. He'll have Brandon Kelly in the 9 machine to his outside. Row number 2 is going to be Trey Ashworth on the bottom side with Jeremiah Woods up on the outside in the 75 machine. Adam Fulford going to start 5th in the 71 with Rob Hattenbach in the 99 to his outside. Justin Stoyanovsky makes up the bottom of row number 4 with Brady Cox to his outside in the 76. Mark Keeler, Lance Sater, and Jeffrey Miller round out our field as they make their way down the front straightaway. We are green flag racing in the B feature at New Smyrna. Turns 1 and 2. Matt Borndren in the 00 tries to make the inside lane work. It looks like Brandon Kelly able to keep that 9 machine pointed forward on the top side. Through turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Ooh, there's contact back behind. Stoyanovsky in the 19 machine goes around, and that's going to bring out the caution here early. Caution flag comes out early on. Stoyanovsky in the 19 got sideways there, and that is going to bring out the yellow. They will be quick caution flags, but we'll take a quick look at the replay and see what happened. Looked like contact off the 76's bumper. Around went the 19 of Stoyanovsky. And that'll put him under yellow for the first time. We'll look at the timing and scoring on the left side. But only 15 laps here in the B. A short race. They're going to want to get them doubled up quickly here. Field should be coming back to the 1 to go signal this time. Let's see. There go the lights on the iRacing.com pace car. We will go green flag racing this time. Single file through turns 3 and 4. They make their way into the restart zone. And into the zone they go. Green flag is back out. We're back underway. Remember, it's your top 4 going to transfer, so you got to keep an eye on that 4th spot right now. Adam Fulford in the 71 machine hangs on to it. Remember, we talked to him earlier on this evening. He said he wasn't feeling so confident, and now under pressure from the 75 of Jeremiah Woods. 9 laps to go for Matt Borndren, trying to hang on out front. Brandon Kelly in the 9 machine also trying to hang on to a transfer spot. He was so close last week at North Wilkesboro, along with Trey Ashworth as well. Back to 8 laps to go. Trey Ashworth up in the 2nd spot, has a safe gap to the car behind him. They all got up into the outside wall right there out of 2. But Jeremiah Woods in that 75 machine trying everything he can to find a way around the 71. It's going to be very tough to pass here. But with 7 laps to go, there's enough time to find a difference in speed and maybe make a pass somewhere. You see him kind of trying to change up that line a little bit, get a different run off the corner. He looks a 75 to the inside. Fulford shuts the door. It's going to be tough to do it on the inside. You're really going to have a big run, probably going down into 3 and 4. That outside lane just so easy to keep your foot down. '75 of Woods trying so hard to take that spot. Meanwhile, out front, Matt Borndren comes back around to 4 laps to go. 4 to go in the B feature. 00 has a 3 car length advantage coming out of turns 1 and 2. Brandon Kelly's starting to put a little bit of pressure on Trey Ashworth for the 2nd spot. And Adam Fulford doing everything he can to hang on to the transfer spot right there. He'd like to get around Brandon Kelly to give himself a little bit of cushion. As this time by, they will come back to 2 laps to go. 2 to go this time for Matt Borndren. Through 1 and 2 that time. Fulford gets a good run out. Woods is unable to get the run to the inside. A little bit of bumper tag that time. Woods right there in the center of the corner. Is there anything left on the final lap? Final time around, the 75 dives it in to the center of the corner there. They work down into the final corner. Woods in the 75 gets into the 71 of Fulford. They slide. They make contact. They're both beating and banging. I think Fulford ended up getting the spot. And that's going to do it. We'll get the final results from the B feature up on screen. Matt Borndren in the 00 picks up the victory. Trey Ashworth comes home 2nd. Brandon Kelly 3rd. Adam Fulford 4th. That final transfer spot. Rob Hattenback comes home 5th. Jeremiah Woods Jr. comes home 6th. So close there through turns 3 and 4. That contact between him and the 71. Not going to be happy after that one, but ends up in the 6th spot. Lance Sater comes home 7th. Jeffrey Miller 8th. Justin Stoyanovsky 9th. Mark Keeler 10th. And Brady Cox comes home 11th in the 76 machine. Unfortunately not going to make it here this evening. Brady finished 16th last week at the Kern County Raceway Park. And it's now time to let these drivers get a little bit of practice in before we send them green for tonight's A feature. 50 laps, caution laps are not going to count. We'll see if we can't grab a word from our pole sitter, fast qualifier, Ryan Grable. I know he's on the racetrack right now, but we'll see if we can get him in voice chat real quick. Just like that, we got him to pull off the racetrack. I don't know if you guys were watching that on screen. Called him up to the booth, pulled a hard left to the bottom, got up into the waiting room. We'll see if we can't grab him. There he is. Up into the broadcast booth. Brian Grable, do you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, quick time here tonight in your season debut. Fell asleep last week. I told this to the viewers at home. Did not make it to Kern County. Got a little bit behind the 8 ball, but tonight in your season debut, first thing you do is go quick time on the pole in qualifying. Going to start 10th though in the race. How are we feeling about our chances in the 22 machine?
I mean, I don't really know how to feel. You know, during practice, me and RJ had a good battle. It's just hard to pass, man. It's like it's getting really bogged down on us. So I think I'm just kind of have to let people come to me and keep my nose clean and try to be there at the end. And yeah, I did fall asleep last week. The trip from Kentucky to California is a long way, so it kind of got me all out of whack. So, but we're here now.
Well, I'm glad you recovered from the road trip, but nonetheless, going to be starting from the 10th spot here tonight. Congrats on the pole, but we wish you luck, Brian.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hopefully, I'll be talking to you later.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, that was Brian Gravel, and now we will look at our starting lineup here tonight. Your field makes their way to the starting grid. We will look at our lineup coming to the green. Dalton Ledbetter going to be on the pole in the number 32 machine. Then Ryan Pittman in the 08 going to start in the second spot. He started on the front row last week after the invert. Carter Hollingsworth in the 28 machine going to roll off from the third spot for the second week in a row. Or maybe not, he started 7th. Apologize. Godfrey in the number 4 machine going to roll off from, or in the 1 machine going to roll off from the 4th spot. Back behind them in row number 3 on the bottom, it's going to be Mark Keedeman in the number 2. To his outside, it'll be RJ Williams in the 21. Row number 4, it's going to be Justin Brooks, winner of the preseason race, in the number 33. And then to his outside in the 8th spot, Dylan Connor in the 91. Last week's winner, Connor Knowlton in the number 2 machine, 2CT, that is, starting from the 9th spot. And then your fast qualifier, Brian Grable, starting from that 10th position. Chris Smith and Zach Murphy make up row number 6. Then back behind them, it'll be Justin Coleman in the 14 machine, making up the bottom of row number 7. Riley Maricchio in the 11 machine starts in the 14th spot here tonight. Brandon Elvis in the 4 starts 15th. James Pileski 16th. Connor Lee in the 51 starts 17th. Justin Mulliken 18th. Steven Oberstadt in the 3 going to start in the 19th spot. Caleb Thompson in the 04 will start 20th. Matt Borndren 21st. Trey Ashford 22nd. Brandon Kelly 23rd. And Adam Fulford 24th. Through turns 3 and 4, we are racing here at Kern. Into turns 1 and 2. Dalton Ledbetter on that outside lane, able to hold off Carter Hollingsworth. He'll lead down the back straightaway. First time into turns 3 and 4. Ledbetter going to lead out of the corner. Your top 3 single file. It's Ledbetter, Hollingsworth, and Keedeman. Justin Brooks and Ryan Pittman. The first cars side by side. Everybody getting single filed out very quickly. The 08 machine in the wall causes a little bit of a stack up there. We're 3 wide back behind them. 2 laps in here. We're 3 wide out of 4 right there. RJ Williams trapped in the middle, 3 wide. On board with Brian Grable in the 22 machine. You see the view up in front of him. Nowhere for him to go. Two by two up front. Justin Brooks looking to the inside of Mark Keedeman already for the 3rd spot. The track might have cooled off just a little bit from qualifying and practice. These guys look to have a lot more grip. So we're still side by side battling for what is the 7th spot right there. Dylan Connor, Ryan Pittman. Really everywhere, drivers beginning to battle. Look at that, Connor Knowlton taking advantage of Mark Keedeman up on the outside lane. Keedeman up on the wall a little bit there. Battle of the number 2s. But Justin Brooks gets up into the 3rd spot. Ledbetter leading down the back straightaway. He's got about a car length over Carter Hollingsworth. So far, green, 7 laps in out of 50. Look a little bit further back, just outside of the top 10. Riley Maricchio and RJ Williams battling side by side. RJ's live on on his YouTube as well. Make sure you guys check out that stream. Give him a subscription if you haven't already. Here comes Justin Coleman peeking a nose in there. There's a little bit of contact, actually. Nearly 3 wide down the back straightaway, the 14 of Coleman. Tried to get underneath RJ in the 21. The gap just a little bit too tight, and there was contact. Everybody kind of stacked up a little bit there, but I think everybody able to keep it in the right direction. As things begin to settle down, you see your front 6 single file broken away a little bit from Dylan Connor in the 91. Chris Smith in the 80 machine battling the 08 of Ryan Pittman. Pittman started on the outside of the front row, has gone backwards in these first 10 laps. Looks like Pittman able to hang on to that spot. Riley Maricchio in the 11 machine, up 3 spots from his 14th place starting position, trying to work his way up into the top 10. Everybody gets a little bit more spread out up front. Dalton Ledbetter leads down the back straightaway. He's got Carter Hollingsworth and Justin Brooks right there on his back bumper. Just waiting for an opening. Although if you're Hollingsworth, you know you're going to be in the second spot on a restart right now. Do you want to try and take the lead, or would you rather be in that second spot? Pull something either on the inside or the outside. We'll have to see here. Hollingsworth leaves the bottom open a little bit there. Justin Brooks going to try to take advantage in the 33. Hollingsworth in the 28 just looks a little bit sideways there. Not quite able to keep that car pinned to the bottom, and you see the move to the bottom. Brooks in the 33 looks down low. 1 and 2. Ooh, contact there. Hollingsworth up into the wall. Down into the corner. 28 machine up into the wall. Kedeman was able to get by. He's going to get back down in line in front of Connor Knowlton in the 2 machine. Right now, still clean and green from the get-go. 16 laps in. Back, everybody is single file still in a tough spot. I think it's a tough night to pass. Everybody pretty spread out though. Nobody really looking close to passing. But New Smyrna is also a track notorious for getting very spread out and being tough to pass at. So we look down the back straightaway here. Your race leader, Dalton Ledbetter, leads the field. Look how spread out the field is getting. 24 cars. Final car on the lead lap is Brandon Kelly in the 9 machine right there. Right now, battle for the lead between your top 2, Dalton Ledbetter and Justin Brooks. Both of those drivers very skilled on iRacing. Brooks over 10,000 iRating. Of course, your Leave the Pack Late Model Series champion, picked up 10 out of 12 victories that season. Just shy of the halfway point, and I like where Brooks and Kedeman are right now, just kind of sitting on the back bumper of the 32, not really putting too much pressure on, just being in the position in case he makes a mistake. They're going to be right there to pounce. Look a little bit further back. Brian Gravel, your pole sitter, or your fast qualifier, I should say. Currently up to the 8th spot. Your biggest mover so far is Justin Brooks, only up 5 positions. Not too much forward movement going on at New Smyrna. We're nearly 3 wide out back. Trey Ashworth looking to the inside of Steven Oberstadt. Now Adam Fulford to the inside. This is about a little bit further back in the field. Here comes Austin Godfrey in the 1 machine, knocking on the door to the top 5. Godfrey right there, a little bit faster than Connor Knowlton. Same with Dylan Connor in the 91. Looks like your race leader might be experiencing a little bit of connection issues as they battle for the lead. Brooks in that 2nd spot. We're past the halfway point here. So Ledbetter has taken the bonus for leading the most laps. As contact there for the 5th spot. More contact down into the corner. Austin Godfrey trying to take over the 5th position. Connor Knowlton not making it very easy there, squeezing him tight down to the bottom. Godfrey up the racetrack, even more up the racetrack. Out of turn 4 that time. And move Austin Godfrey into the 5th spot. Got up on the wheel, muscles out, and moved his way into the 5th position. Dylan Connor trying to take over the 6th spot as well. Knowlton trying to stay strong up top. And up the racetrack goes the 91 and the 2 machine. Brian Gravel going to get the 2 for 1 right there. And down into the corner, more contact. Pittman into the 2 machine, and around goes the 8, and I think that's going to be our first caution flag, and there it is. Around goes the 8 machine of Ryan Pittman, and that's going to put us under yellow for the first time here this evening. You saw it getting hectic there with 30 laps in, and that's going to put us under yellow for the first time. Let's take a look at what happened. Here's the look down into turns 3 and 4. You see the 08 machine up the racetrack, kind of knocks the 2 sideways. And there's more contact after the fact, and I think Smith just didn't have anywhere to go in the 08 machine. Or sorry, the 80 machine. He may have made contact right there. We'll go on board with Smith and see what kind of story that tells us. Yeah, you can see the contact up in front of him. All this was happening for that about 9th position. And you saw the spin right there. You saw the contact. And around went Ryan Pittman. Tough break for the 2 machine. I believe he might have claimed that caution. I'm not really sure. They do have a claim system here to where if they feel a caution was their fault, in order to avoid penalty later, they can claim fault in the yellow. But we'll see what happens here as we are going to re-rack them and restack them for the first time here tonight. And something tells me now that we've had all those green flag laps, we're inside of 20 laps to go. Something tells me things could start to get a little bit hectic. As this time by, the white flag is displayed. You see the lights drop on the iRacing.com pace car. So we're going to send him back. Green flag racing next time by. Dalton Ledbetter elects to choose the outside lane. That'll put Justin Brooks to the bottom. And who will it be? Coming back to 19 laps to go. Pace car is off. They make their way into the restart zone, and we are back racing here at New Smyrna. Down into turns 1 and 2. The 33 machine peeks ahead. Through the first set of corners, Ledbetter in the 32, outmatched on the inside. Or outmatched on the outside. Brooks in the 33 trying to make that inside lane work, but here comes the 32 with Ledbetter strong back at the end of the straightaway. And you see he's able to hold that momentum. Everybody's still side by side. Into the wall a little bit, though. Down into turns 3 and 4. Look at Austin Godfrey and Carter Hollingsworth battling for the 4th spot. They almost tangle up off the corner. Your top 2 continue to battle. Everybody back behind them battling for that final spot in the top 5. Up front, Mark Keedeman sitting behind your top 2. Ooh, nearly contact there. He looked to the inside, 3 wide. That's going to allow Ledbetter to really keep the momentum going. A fantastic battle for the lead. Justin Brooks just can't quite get clear of the 32 machine. Through turns 3 and 4, once again, that outside lane just rolling strong. They beat and bang at the end of the straightaway there. Justin Brooks starting to widen out that groove a little bit. Here comes Mark Keedeman looking to the inside maybe. Keedeman really wants to visit victory lane. He's a 3-time Street Stock Showdown winner. He would love to go back in his first race of the season. And it looks like Justin Brooks will be out front. New leader Justin Brooks is clear with 14 laps to go. Still watching the battle for the 4th spot. Austin Godfrey able to get up in front of Carter Hollingsworth. Those two battled for a while after the restart. Now Keedeman to the inside of Ledbetter. As there's a little bit of bumper tag back behind him. Everybody fighting for that bottom lane now. I think the inside might be starting to come back just a little bit. 12 laps to go for Justin Brooks. Mark Keedeman trying everything he can to get around this 32 machine. Ledbetter's done a great job hanging on to the lead. Held on that outside lane for a long time with Justin Brooks to the inside. But Brooks was just able to power on the inside and take that spot away. And now Keedeman trying to do the same. This time by it will be 10 laps to go. 10 to go for Justin Brooks, trying to pick up his first win in Street Stock Showdown competition. Official win, that is. Keedeman in the 2 machine has about a nose ahead of the 32. And look back behind him, Austin Godfrey in the 1. Oh, contact back behind. Riley Maricchio into the outside wall, and RJ Williams is upside down. Rolls it back on all 4s, but into the outside wall. Tough wreck there. Out of 3 and 4. What happened? We missed what was going on down into the corner. It looked like the 11 machine just got a little bit sideways and overcorrected. Nowhere for RJ Williams to go. A tough wreck. Tough break for the 21 machine. I was having a good run up inside of your top 10. But that's going to put us under caution one more time here. Go on board with the 21 machine to see what he saw. Looked like down into the corner. Yeah, you can see the overcorrect. Absolutely nothing he could do. The car goes up and over and back up on all 4 wheels. And that was it for the 21 machine. There was nothing he could do. The car was too done to continue. But the caution flag back out for the second time here tonight. Second caution flag with 9 laps to go. Justin Brooks is your race leader. Mark Keteman is second. Dalton Ledbetter is third. Austin Godfrey fourth. We get the 2 to go signal that time. And I'm going to take a quick step away. You guys aren't going to miss a thing. I'm going to leave the screen live, but I'm going to take a quick step away to grab a drink of water before we wrap things up with 8 to go here at the new Smyrna Speedway. Be back in just one moment when we go back green. Alrighty, folks, we are back here on the WD Broadcasting Network, getting ready to go back green with 8 laps to go. Pace car pulls to the bottom. The green flag is back out. We're back underway. Down into turns 1 and 2. Justin Brooks takes a good jump down into the corner. We got a couple cars already side by side back behind him. Brian Grable trying to move into the 7th spot underneath Chris Smith. But out front, Justin Brooks has to hang on for 7 more laps. The question is, can he? With Mark Keteman back behind him, he's going to have some fierce competition to hang on. Keteman might have a little bit fresher tires too, because he wasn't battling with Ledbetter for the entirety of that run. This time by, they come through turns 3 and 4. They will see 5 laps to go. The hand out of the flag stand. 5 laps to go. 5 to go for Justin Brooks down into turns 1 and 2. Mark Keteman all over the back bumper. Is there anything he can do? Almost drafting down the straightaway. Into turns 3 and 4. He is so close to the back bumper. 4 laps to go this time. He gave him a shot that time into 3 and 4, but didn't quite have enough to pull alongside. What does Mark Keteman have to do? He's all over the bumper there, but can he make the pass? Time is running out for the number 2 machine. 3 laps to go this time. 3 to go for Justin Brooks. Trying to hang on to pick up his first official Street Stock Showdown victory. But can Mark Keteman say something about it? Into turns 3 and 4. Popsicle sticks up in the air this time. 2 laps to go. 2 more times around for Justin Brooks. He drives down the back straightaway. The gap starting to open up just a little bit. 2 car lengths separating the 2. Through turns 3 and 4. White flag is out. Final time around. 1 lap to go for Justin Brooks. Does Mark Keteman have anything left? Through the first set of corners and down the back straightaway. 1 car length the gap down into turns 3 and 4. Keteman through the center of the corner tries to drive to the back bumper, but he's not going to get there. Through turns 3 and 4, it's going to be Justin Brooks winning at New Smyrna. Brooks comes home with the victory. Mark Keteman second, Dalton Ledbetter third, Austin Godfrey fourth, Carter Hollingsworth fifth, Dylan Connors sixth, Chris Smith seventh, Brian Grable eighth, Zach Murphy ninth, and James Pileski 10th. In the 93. But we'll take a quick step away here on the WD Broadcasting Network. We're going to grab a word from our top 3 finishers when we return in just one moment But you won't want to miss that. We'll be back in just a moment to close things out here at New Smyrna.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Trish on the bottom.
Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Apromitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Alrighty, folks, we are back here on the WD Broadcasting Network. Just having a little bit of a chat there with one of the drivers that we're about to talk to here. We'll get the results up on screen for you guys. But first, we'll grab a word from our third place finisher here tonight. See if we can't grab him up into the booth. Over to the broadcast booth. Dalton Ledbetter, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, third place here tonight. Started on the pole after the redraw. A great race. You guys put on a heck of a show. Those first 30 laps, we didn't have a single caution flag, and you and Brooks battled for a long time for that top spot. Ultimately ended up in the third spot when it was all said and done. But how do you feel after your run at New Smyrna?
Yeah, man, that's a pretty good race, I believe. Yeah, Brooks, he's always fast, man. I tried to play the invert there and not run as good, so maybe I could start up front, and I didn't get a good restart beside him, and I missed a shift, and I just knew it would be hard to clear him. But no, that was good, hard racing, man.
Yeah, you guys definitely raced really good there. You guys were side by side for at least 5 or so laps, and it didn't look like either one of you was gonna get the advantage. And finally, he peeled ahead on the bottom. But still a great run for the 32 machine here tonight. Who do you have to thank for your first podium finish of the season?
Yeah, I like to thank Brooks, man. He helps me out a lot, and yeah, I need to run these street stocks some more. I barely run them, man, but no, it's definitely fun.
Yeah, it was definitely fun watching you guys battle there during that restart. But nonetheless, congratulations to you, Dalton, on your third place run here tonight, and we wish you luck next week at IRP or Southern National. Yes, sir. Don't know why I said IRP. I'm used to having IRP as a race 3 in the season. It was the first couple seasons, but Southern National next week. But let's see if we can't grab a word from our second place finisher now. We'll see if we can get him up in the booth. Up into the broadcast booth, Mark Keedeman, you got a copy? Alrighty, well, second place here tonight. You guys battled very hard for that top spot. You were right behind that battle for the lead. Brooks and Ledbetter battling for that spot, and then you and Ledbetter also battled for the second spot pretty hard. Nonetheless, it was a great show to watch from up in the booth. How do you feel after that run, finishing second?
Feel pretty good. think we started like 5th or 6th or something like that with the invert. Didn't really fire off all that well. Carter Hollingsworth, they didn't really go on the start, so was just trying not to run over him, and then Brooks got to my inside, and you know how that goes. So just kind of tried to ride, and then something happened between the two lead cars or something, and somehow we managed to get up into third, and Dalton and Justin and them were racing pretty hard, and just tried to bide my time behind them two guys and try to find a lane or something. And we had that one restart. I thought I had the better car. If I could have just got past Brooks, I think we'd be seeing somebody else in victory lane tonight. But who knows? But overall, it was a really fun race. Glad we only had like 1 or 2 cautions, and had a really fun time.
Yeah, only 2 caution flags there. Those first 30 laps, green, definitely took me by surprise. With 24 cars on the track, I thought we'd definitely have a spin here or there, but it was a good job by everybody keeping it green, so you guys up front could have the race that you did and put on that show. Still great run for your first race of the season, second place spot. Good momentum for next week going into Southern National, but second place here tonight. Mark, who do you have to thank for a podium finish in the Street Stock Showdown?
I got to thank K-Cars Race Cars, RKM Setup Shop, Justin Brooks Designs, Top Soul Landscapes, Clive Power Equipment, Freezing Performance, everybody that watches me and supports me, and just cheers me on, and you and everybody that puts this deal on for us. It's a really good time here, so I just got to say thank you to everybody.
Yeah, it's definitely been fun for these first couple weeks. We've got 10 more races after this, so a lot of excitement to go forward. Next week at Southern National, how do you feel about your chances with 75 laps there?
Well, for starters, we were absolutely terrible at Southern National. I hate that place with a burning desire, burning passion, whatever you want to call it, but we are not very good there, so hopefully we can just keep the tires up underneath of it and come away with a good race or a good finish, maybe even a win if the tables luck's in our favor. So we'll see what we got.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Mark, on your second place run here tonight, and we wish you a fun, motion sickness free race next week at Southern National.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, that was your second place finisher here tonight. Now to grab a word from our winner up into the broadcast booth. Let's see if we can grab him. Word from our winner, Justin Brooks, up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on?
Alrighty, well, Justin, that was a fun show. You started in the 7th spot here this evening. Ended up in victory lane, obviously. Battled with Dalton Ledbetter and Keedeman for 10, 15 laps there for the top spot. And ultimately, you were able to get it in victory lane when it was all said and done. How do you feel about your run?
I guess I feel pretty good. I messed up qualifying. I'm still aggravating myself about it, but I guess it worked out because it gave me a few more spots ahead. Completely bombed qualifying, so I ended up getting 4th, but put me 7th. And the guy in 2nd didn't go, so it made it a little easier getting up through there, and made it up to 5th, and then 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and I was just trying to ride in 2nd, hoping for a caution or something at some point because I could see Dalton was getting tight in front of me coming off the corner, so I backed off the pace a little bit, and he started blinking too, so I gave him even more room and was just waiting to see if there was going to be a yellow, and if not, I was going to make my move around 10 to go or so and get by him because I felt like he was burning his stuff up, and I had a yellow. I ended up taking the lead. It was kind of hard. It's like I was talking with him. Mark kept running in the back of me when I'm underneath Dalton, so it was getting me tight. He did it like 3 or 4 times, so I was trying to stay off Dalton when he's pinching me, and also try to make the corner and make it fast, and put myself in position to be able to take the lead at the same time while getting shoved from behind. So it was a chess match there, and when I got the lead, I felt like I was gone, and caution come out, and same thing. Like I just fired off a little too tight, and about 3-4 laps in a run is when the car started coming back to me. But by then, Mark was on me, and he kept giving me shots, and every time he had to get me tight coming off the corner, and he would try to shove his nose to the bottom and get the run on the exit, but he couldn't. But ended up getting like a really good corner one time and got a sizable lead and just tried to ride there to the end. So it was pretty good. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun battling with them guys.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun watching you guys battle. Like you said, watching you, that chess match that you said, you trying to pass Ledbetter with Keaton up behind your bumper, giving you shots. That was a fun battle to watch. But nonetheless, winner here in your first official Street Stock Showdown race. Obviously, you were the late model champion last season. Missed out last week. We didn't get to see you, but picked up the victory here tonight. How do you feel about your chances going into Southern National next week? 75 laps.
If I actually go and race, I think I'd be pretty good. Southern National's always been one of my good tracks in this car. Trying to get acclimated back to this car. I hadn't run it in over 3 years until it first come out last year. I ran probably 30, 40 laps just messing around with it doing a hosted race and hadn't touched it again until Wilkesboro when I ran the 9 points race with you guys. And trying to relearn it. I forgot what steering ratios and all that I ran in the car before because it's different in the late model, brake bias and stuff. So trying to get acclimated with that, acclimated with just the setups itself and how it responds to the inputs in the wheel and braking gas and all that because it's completely different. So I mean, it's fun to relearn it. So I mean, like I said, yeah, if I show up next week, then yeah, I'll be looking forward to definitely going for another win there because it's definitely one of my better tracks in this car for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun race at Southern National. 75 laps, one of the longer races this season. But nonetheless, the winner here tonight at New Smyrna. Who do you have to thank, Justin, for your second victory of the season?
I want to thank Carter Levi first and foremost. My mouse broke earlier on, and he was kind enough to gift me another mouse. Hint, hint, wink, wink. I want to thank the guys I raced with tonight, racing me clean or racing me hard, except Mark Keedman. Dude, that's run through everybody. Just messing. But thank you for putting this league on and letting us have some fun and all that. I mean, you do a great job each and every week. It's fun to come over here and, show them support for your league and have some fun battles. So it's a bunch of fast guys out here. Thank myself, JustinBrooksDesigns.com, Crow Sim Shots, Locklear Deer Processing, and everybody out there watching. I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle tonight. It was a lot of fun for me, so I know it had to be fun for you guys for sure. So that's pretty much it. Thank you, buddy.
Alrighty, well, I just realized that my whole outro was not live, so we're going to try that again. Here's the schedule. We'll see you guys back next week at the Southern National Motorsports Park. Thank you guys for tuning in to this point if you did and missed me do the outro. But nonetheless, follow me on socials. And I'm your host, Winston Deal, signing it off. Peace out.